On this episode of the podcast, Lance got you a Valentine's gift for two, and it's homemade web fluid for you.
Welcome to my party, we're just getting started, a life is a dream.
Welcome to a brand new episode of the Absolute Geek Podcast. I'm Matt.
I'm Lance.
Hey, how's it going? Another week. Look at us, back-to-back weeks, huh?
I know, dude. We're
A little,
This is what they call a streak.
yeah. This is what they call consistency.
Oh man, we're on a winning streak, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, man. How was your week?
Oh, crazy.
You have some good Super Bowl munchies?
Not really. Super Bowl's kind of lame.
Yeah. I'm just glad the Niners lost.
I'm not. I wanted the Niners to win. The game sucked till about like the last 5 minutes in the fourth quarter and then overtime.
Yeah, it
But,
started to get good. But I am not a Niners fan. Never will be a Niners fan. I will always root against them and the Cowboys. Sorry, man. It is what it is. No,
I'm not a
no
Niners
hate.
fan either, but I'm just tired of seeing the Chiefs as champions. And in today's modern NFL, with how good these teams are, in my opinion, we should never see the same team winning the championship back-to-back seasons.
Well,
especially when the Chiefs were garbage for most of the season, and they lost to the Lions, they lost to the Packers. They had some big pivotal losses, and somehow they still make it to the Super Bowl and just dog walk through the playoffs.
I mean, I mean, as long as you get to the playoffs, dude, the regular season doesn't matter once you're in the playoffs. You know, I mean, it matters for the teams that don't get into the playoffs, but once you're in the playoffs, dude, it's a new season, right? And
I just like how
you hit your streak at the right time.
You watch it all go through, just the Packers being up on the 49ers and choking, the Lions being up on the 49ers and choking, then the 49ers being up on the Chiefs and then they choke. Like, it's just...
Well, it was closer than that. And I think, the 49ers suffered some injuries in the middle of the game that I think affected their team. And dude,
Achilles
just don't
off your own sideline.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's like that affected them. And dude, I'll never bet against Patrick Mahomes, man. I'll never bet against him. But I don't know, man. You were saying about the dynasty or about consecutive seasons or whatever. We haven't had one since what, 2004?
Since the Patriots, but still, I just feel like in today's NFL, with how strong these teams are, we shouldn't have that.
Yeah, I mean, but you put one of the greatest coaches of all time and who could be one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, and Patrick Mahomes,
one of the greatest
together.
See, I don't like that Andy Reid being considered one of the greatest coaches of all time, since he couldn't get over the hump until he got to Kansas City.
Nor could Bill Belichick.
He got one Super Bowl appearance with Philadelphia when they had T.O. on the team, and they got rolled.
Yeah, but Bill Belichick got fired from the Browns, dude.
Yeah, but he turned the Patriots around. I just don't know.
And then Tom Brady leaves, and he hasn't had success since.
Yeah, Andy Reid he probably deserves it, but I just don't want to call him that because he should have done it with the Eagles.
I didn't say the greatest. I said one of the greatest.
No, I know.
Yeah, I think if you look at it, right, so he had some success in Philadelphia. I mean, yes, they never got over that hump, but
out of all the seasons there and multiple NFC championships, he could only make it to the Super Bowl once with Philly.
But what did Bill Belichick do without Tom Brady? Jack shit.
Well, that's...
And Bill Belichick's considered one of, if not the greatest coach of all time, which I think he was just blessed with a generational quarterback. because he hasn't been able to replicate it, and he wasn't able to do it prior.
Well,
Andy Reid's had success on 2 teams. You could argue that the Philadelphia's, even though it didn't end in a trophy, he had successful seasons there.
I don't know. I think his heir apparent to Tom Brady was Garoppolo, and since they traded him away, then he saw Garoppolo getting injured constantly, and they never brought him back. I don't know.
Well, Garoppolo just got suspended 2 games today, and the Raiders are going to release him. So
yeah, for Peds, first player in history to take performing enhancing drugs and get worse.
Right. Maybe he took performance enhancing drugs.
Maybe.
No, I enjoyed the Super Bowl, man. I went to Max's house. He had a little thing with his wife's family. And in halftime, I went to my sister's house, who lives down the street, and watched it with my family. And it was good, man. Like, when you don't have skin in the game and you don't care so much about the outcome, it's just about being together with family, I guess.
Yeah, it makes the game boring.
I was happy that the Chiefs won because I absolutely disdain the 49ers. And, you know, you could argue that Kyle Shanahan is having an experience of what Andy Reid had in Philadelphia. Gets there, can't get over the hump.
Well, I don't know with Kyle Shanahan. He beat himself by taking the ball first in overtime.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's just
know the rules. How could you be in the NFL and not know the overtime rules?
Well, I think it's dumb. I think there should be only one thing that ends the game in overtime, and that's the clock.
Nah.
I mean, why the hell do you have a clock?
Just
if both teams are death. But it's not sudden death because both teams have an opportunity to hold the ball. So it's not.
Well, that was that's only in the playoffs. Like any other time, it's sudden death. You score,
or if that makes sense.
Time runs out. It's when you're playing for a championship. It's different, but
it should be the timer. It should be the timer. I mean, if you know,
it makes it more exciting when you know that you have to hold and stop a touchdown. Otherwise, you lose. You don't have to. You can't just play cautiously or carelessly because you can wait out the clock.
But the second team to possess the ball doesn't have the onus of stopping.
You really want to watch that? You really want it to be the clock, so you get into overtime and just watch one team just absolutely tank, and then them put up like 3 touchdowns. Put like 3 touchdowns on them. No, you want to just watch it score once and be over with.
No. I'd much rather watch the 3 touchdowns.
No way. You're crazy. You say that now until it happened to the Cardinals once, and they just die in the overtime and just get put 4 touchdowns.
But didn't it?
Be like,
didn't
it used to be already?
Didn't it used to be the timer?
Stop the bleeding. No, for the longest time it was a field goal won it, so you could.
Oh, that's right.
Overtime and kick a field goal and win it. And
that's when they added the 2-team possession. Or whatever you want to call that rule.
Then they went to the touchdown that a field goal can't win it, but if you score a touchdown, it does. And then they changed the rule for the rule for the playoffs because of the Bills-Chiefs game a few years ago, where
Bills never
went
got
into overtime and the Chiefs scored right away, and the Bills never even got a chance to touch the ball. So
just let it go for the clock, dude. It's the last game of the year, so. I know the argument for a long time was like, oh, but if they're on the field for that long, then it exposes them to injury risk and all this. Just let the clock run it out, dude. No team can hold. How long's a period? 14 minutes?
Yeah, 15 minutes.
Or a quarter, I guess.
15 minutes.
15 minutes. No team can hold the ball for 15 minutes. Both teams are going to get possession more than once, more than likely.
And
if you've gotten to overtime, then your bloodbath comment doesn't really, it's kind of a moot point because you guys were beating up on each other the whole way there.
Yeah, but now you're starting like a whole another game over with, and you want them to play a whole another quarter.
Well, how much time was left in that quarter?
There was only like 2 minutes. No, there was less than 2. Yeah, well,
So
It was like
so
2 minutes left when they won the game.
so I think you're just proving my argument. 2
Not
minutes left.
really.
Let it go for 2 minutes. Give the Niners another chance.
Nah.
Kyle Shanahan though annoys me. They haven't that whole fourth quarter they were not able to stop the Chiefs. And then they just marched down the field and was it a field goal to tie the game?
There's a lot of there's a lot of clock fuckery though. Like people are pointed out online. Like I'm not a big conspiracy theory of the NFL is rigged and all that, but there's a lot of clock fuckery that you can watch online where people are showing the clock and it says like a minute 9, and then all of a sudden they show a different graphic. It comes back and then it says a minute 10. Like they're adding time to the clock for the Chiefs to move down the field. And there's like one where they're not even close to the first down, but they still, and it was, what was this? It was like 3rd and 10 or
I don't
3rd and 1 or something like that. And then it switched to 1st and 10. Like they just gave him the first down. So there was a lot of like clock fuckery that you can find people actually like pointing it out with video online and stuff.
as a Cardinals fan, I've chosen a long time ago not to get into the conspiracy stuff
Wow.
because you know, my team is the oldest team in the league and never won a championship, and I still love them, but once you start going down that road, then it's just going to ruin the sport for me. So I'm just like, I'm not even going to go into that road. All I'm saying is the Kansas Chiefs offense was just on the field, tied the game, and rather than making the offense go back out there and score again, so without break, right? They have to be on the field again after just scoring. I don't know. It just doesn't make sense. Now, you could argue maybe he was trying to give his defense rest, but I think those guys were gassed, dude. I think all he had to do is just elect to kick the ball, and it would have been fine. I don't know.
Well,
And
yeah,
plus, they played like dog shit in that fourth quarter. The Niners did. So why did he have faith in his offense to
all they
begin
had
with?
to do was kick the ball off to the Chiefs, stop the Chiefs for a field goal, and then they had to either score or get a field goal to win it.
Well, not to win it. A field goal wouldn't have won it. If
No,
they
they'd have
stopped
to
the
get a
Chiefs for
touchdown.
if they
they'd have to
stopped
get
the
a
Chiefs for
touchdown
a
to
field
win it
goal,
and a field goal to tie it.
yeah. And I think that he just put too much faith in his defense for that, to be able to stop the Chiefs. Because I don't know, I just wouldn't have put my defense out there to open overtime.
Man.
But it is
Speaking of the Super Bowl, though, other than the game, if you weren't there for the big game or Usher's awful halftime performance, you got to see a trailer for Deadpool and Wolverine.
which is funny, dude, because the day before a title card leaked and it said the movie was going to be called Deadpool and Friend. Did you see that?
No.
Same font. The logo looks identical. I think it was a plant. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I think it was a plant by Marvel to kind of.
No, because Disney and Marvel wouldn't just accidentally leak anything, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It wouldn't be accidentally leaked. So it was Deadpool and Friend, and it's like, oh, look, even in the title, Deadpool's getting his digs in at Wolverine by not even naming him, right? It was like the same writing, but it just said Friend. And it's just too similar to the same writing to be coincidental.
Friend.
I don't know. I think the trailer looks fucking awesome.
I do too.
It's. Did you notice his suit's a bit brighter though?
No.
You didn't know that? Notice that?
Mm-mm.
It's definitely brighter and less leathery looking, I guess you could say, than the previous two movies. The previous two movies, it was like a lot of like, it looked like padding, right? Like armor almost. And in this one, it's very much more leotard.
You think so? Let's see.
Oh yeah, I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one to have noticed that too. My sister, who's not even a huge fan of Marvel movies, said, "Hey, he looks brighter." Yeah, I'm looking at a picture right now, Deadpool and Wolverine, and he doesn't have like, it's just less tactical, it looks like.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see it.
So, in my mind, because we're kind of seeing the same thing with Deadpool a little bit. Oh yeah, so here he is. This is and for people that are listening to the podcast, they're not going to be able to see this, but this is either Deadpool 1 or 2, and you can see he has all the shoulder padding and the buckles and stuff.
That's 1, I believe.
Is that 1?
Oh no, that's 2. He's standing on the billboard. He's
Right.
looking up at Peter as he's
Oh,
Sugar
that's
Bear.
right. That's right. Fly, Sugar Bear, fly. Doesn't he say
Yeah.
something to that effect? And then this is the new movie. Very less shoulder padding, not as much buckles and straps, and it is definitely brighter.
Yeah. And the
In
eyes
fact,
look less like plates.
right. It looks more like a fabric mask. But what's funny is Wolverine's suit looks more tactical in the same vein as Deadpool 1 and 2. There's a breastplate on him. He's got more padding and stuff, but this looks very much leotard.
Yeah.
Huh, I noticed something that Matt didn't. I'm proud of myself, guys.
Good job.
It's not every day. Usually I'm the one being schooled.
But lots of hidden Easter eggs in the trailer. You get your first potential look at Patch, at Madripoor. It's not your first trip to Madripoor because you got to see that in Falcon Winter Soldier, but Madripoor, all of the Easter eggs that are in it.
Was there a Star Wars reference?
I don't think
I
so.
read somewhere online there was a Star Wars reference, and I've yet to go back and watch the trailer to see if I can spot it.
I haven't noticed it. I definitely like the the pegging.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That was hilarious. And we definitely know from the movie trailer that it's heavily going to tie into Loki in some capacity.
Did you know that shot in the elevator when he's doing the splits and coming up is actually a nod to a fan of his who was, I think it was a sick kid or a person with cancer or something like that, who made a video in a Deadpool suit doing the splits.
Oh, really?
So that is like a node to that person.
That's cool. Ryan Reynolds always thinks of shit like that, I think, though.
I think his suit changes though, because if you look, look, here's a higher quality photo. Oh, it's like super. God damn it. Hate that shit.
I think his suit changes from 1 to 2, but are you saying that it changes in the middle of the movie of 3?
Yeah.
In the trailer? So maybe there's some explanation. Maybe he goes to a costume shop and gets a new suit.
Well, no, I think his suit changes from when he's like gearing up. Cause look, like, can you see my screen?
Yeah, that's the one that I showed you.
Yeah, but it's still very much like rubberized like a ball. Like you can see all like the dots and stuff. It looks like the same type of suit. Doesn't look quite leotardy. He's got the breastplates.
Yeah, but it's definitely brighter.
It is definitely brighter, yes, but like the eye plates don't look quite as.
Go to that picture below there. The one with his hands over his face.
Well, like, so if you go back to the one you're looking at, like these look more like plates. If you look like Deadpool 2, even I'm trying to find like a Deadpool 2.
Well, that is Deadpool 2.
Oh yeah. I was trying to look for a different photo though. Yeah, it is definitely brighter.
Yeah, and I feel like the eye plates, I guess you would call them. I feel like they protrude more from the mask. Like there's more of a depth there than in the new trailer. It feels very seamless almost.
Yeah. But
I
super
was
excited
close
for
to pulling
Deadpool
a
2.
John Cena there.
Yeah. Deadpool 2 has the speculation community going crazy right now for books.
Deadpool 3.
Sorry, Deadpool 3, yes. My bad. But you also this week, we got our announcement for the cast of Fantastic Four on Valentine's Day.
Do you have that
Something
image?
that we expected to come back at San Diego Comic-Con last year before the writers and actors strike. So why don't you tell us who our Fantastic Four cast is?
So it's Ebon Moss Backrack. Is that how you say it? Backrack? Backrack. That doesn't sound right. Backrack.
He's from The Bear on FX.
He is playing Ben Grimm, right?
FX
Then
and Hulu.
Then you've got our friend from Stranger Things, Eddie. What's the actor's name?
I can't remember his name.
Yeah, I can't remember it either. Well, you got Pedro Pascal as Mr. Fantastic, and I almost said Jodie Foster.
Joseph Quinn.
Joseph Quinn. I almost said Jodie Foster as the Invisible Woman. It's not Jodie Foster. What's her name?
Vanessa Kirby.
Vanessa Kirby. Why was I thinking Jodie Foster? Was Vanessa Kirby the one in Free Guy?
Negative. She was in Hobbs and Shaw. She was in Mission Impossible.
She's
in Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1.
Is she Statham's sister in Hobbs and Shaw? Is that right? Isn't she related? Like in the movie, the actress?
I don't know. She plays Hattie or Hattie.
Hattie Shaw, I think.
Is it Hattie Shaw?
Oh.
Yeah. She's the She's like the CIA person.
Yeah, so I like her. I liked her in Hobbs and Shaw. I thought she was one of the bright spots. I like that they include, so you've got the Thing in this picture, and they include the picture of Ben Grimm in the back.
Yeah.
In his astronaut suit. That was cool. Is there any other Easter eggs in here besides our friendly robot Herbie?
Not really. I mean, other than I think this whole thing is supposed to be a nod to like the time frame that this movie's supposed to take place.
Yeah, we talked about it briefly, and if you had a wider image, we'd be able to see the logo there, very 1950s, and the pinks and blues are very 1950s.
I'm starting to think 50s, 60s now.
Well, yeah, 50s, 60s. I mean,
just because of the magazine cover right here, like that's a nod to an actual, I want to say Life magazine or something like that has that same picture on it.
Okay.
But that came out in the 60s. But here's what Lance is referring to. The text.
Yeah, the Marvel Studios
can't
logo.
really see it that well, but
yeah, the Marvel Studios logo in particular is very 1950s esque, kind of like diners, and it reminds me of diners and bowling alleys. And the pinks and blues. Pink specifically in the 1950s was used a lot in diners and stuff like that. But I mean, it's cool. We'll see how it works. I mean, their suits, you can tell that it's a different time period because their suits are very much. I mean, Pedro Pascal looks like he's got borderline a turtleneck on.
Kinda, yeah.
And you got the flight suit. It looks like for Johnny Storm. It looks like it could be some sort of flight suit or mechanic jumper. And then you've got the polo with the sweater for Ben. There's something red on his pants. What is that?
What?
Oh,
Wait,
it's
it's like
confetti. It's
confetti.
confetti.
Yeah.
I just noticed it everywhere else.
I don't
But
would say it's a polo. It's more of like a windbreaker.
it's a polo with a cardigan over it.
No, it looks more like a jacket because of the way it like buttons up.
Oh, it
But
could be like a varsity jacket. You see the sleeves? Like
yeah,
the cuff of the sleeves
yeah.
looks like a varsity jacket almost. I could see that. But I don't know. It's cool. So they announced July 25th, 2025.
Yep.
Does that sound right?
Mm-hmm.
July 25th?
Yep.
So it's cool. I don't understand why it took so long to announce the cast, because all of these actors have been heavily teased or
For
rumored
months.
on
For
for
months.
months and months. And I understand that they couldn't announce anything during the strikes, right? But the strikes were over months ago. So why so long?
Probably, I'm gonna say that had to do with probably the strikes, and then getting a writer, the director, and then you're gonna have to, they probably had to pen a script because these actors are gonna want to see a script before they sign on to it. Then probably negotiations of contracts, and they want to make sure that they're all broad stocked and locked to go before they announce the actual cast. Um, but like I
Yeah.
said, this is nothing new. This is nothing surprising. Like this is a cast that Pedro Pascal's been locked in for a while. The flip
Yeah.
flop has been Sue Storm. It was the chick from Free Guy or the one that they cast here. I think that they should have went with the chick from Free Guy, but I'm gonna, reserve judgment till I see the movie.
Well, they probably did screen testing, because I bet you Pedro was one of the first to sign on. And they probably screen tested Pedro Pascal with those two actresses. He might have more chemistry with this one. Marvel's pretty good about finding chemistry between their actors.
Well, and you got to remember too. Go back. They originally cast Adam Driver, and Adam Driver had issues with the script, and so he didn't want to do the movie, so he backed out.
Yeah, I also think that there's more than just script reasons for backing out. I don't think he hasn't spoken too glowingly about his time on Star Wars. And I wonder if there was a little bit of hesitancy to join another big franchise maker. You know what I mean? Um so I think multiple things played into it. Script, franchise. I mean, Tom Holland just signed a new contract for Spider-Man. It's like 6 movies. It's a big
When did that happen?
commitment. Well, I read about it yesterday,
I've
but I
not
thought it
seen
was a couple
any.
months ago.
I've
Three
not seen any
Spider-Man,
confirmation.
3 Spider-Man movies, 2 Avengers movies, and a cameo. That's 6.
I have not, because I have not heard any.
I saw that on Twitter. Maybe it's bullshit. It's very may likely be bullshit, because Lord knows there's a lot of bullshit on the internet. But it was my understanding that he signed on for more movies.
Yeah, there's nothing here about. Um, Nothing here about that.
Yeah, so maybe it's all wishful thinking. Somebody on Sony putting out some bullshit trying to get Tom Holland. Because Tom Holland, the one thing I'm reading now is that Holland said his plans for Spider-Man 4 remain in flux, and this was November 2021. No, that's when Amy Pascal talked. I don't know. He may have, or he may have not signed on for more Spider-Man. Probably not.
I think there's Spider-Man 4 is definitely well in the works. And I think he would be stupid not to sign on for it. But
I don't know. I think we're gonna get Tom Holland, or I think we're gonna get Tobey Maguire again.
I don't.
You don't think that's gonna happen for Secret Wars?
No.
I thought you were the one that told me that.
So the rumor was that in Deadpool, he's supposed to be searching out variants of heroes from each dimension, the best variant to put together a team for Battle World for Secret Wars. But
Okay.
Sony, in doing so, we'll get into it when we do our Madam Web review here in a minute. But Sony has there was a rumor going around that originally all of the stuff with Spider-Man and Madam Web, it was Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man was the Spider-Man that they had in mind when they were writing Madam Web. Well, Sony wanted to move forward with Andrew Garfield, then said, no, never mind. Tom Holland's our Spider-Man. We're going to keep rolling with Tom Holland. So that's why all of the references to Spider-Man get scrubbed from Madam Web.
Well, there's one thing with Madam Web that makes me, because originally I thought that, and my sister we didn't go together, but she was in the movie theater with her husband, so we talked about it after, and she was saying, but it wouldn't make sense that it was Andrew Garfield because the time that the baby was born in Madam Web was 2003.
Well, because Madam Web had a big issue with time.
Yeah, and we'll get more into that in a moment. But if the 2003 stands to reason, in No Way Home, it was supposed to be 2020 or 2021. What year was it?
Well, No Way Home should be taking place in 2025. Or 2024, 2025, thanks to the blip.
Okay, so 2024, 2025. Andrew Garfield in that movie says that it's been years since Gwen Stacy passed away, and that he was like no longer holding back his punches. He kind of alludes that he's been doing it for quite a while, not nearly as long as Tobey Spider-Man, but the timing doesn't equal out
right. But that's the fault of the writers. They have all but already confirmed that Andrew Garfield was the Spider-Man that this universe was going to be talking about, but Sony has since backtracked and said, no, Tom Holland is our Spider-Man, and that's why they scrubbed all references to him. And plus the timeline was the Madam Web writers messed up the timeline for that because Sony fully intended on having Andrew Garfield being their Spider-Man.
Which drives me nuts because you and I spoke on the phone earlier before you saw the movie. And
don't be lying to people. Don't be telling people that make them think I talk to you outside of this show.
Fuck you, dude. And you were, you and I were both, I forget who said it, but something to the fact of Sony's not going to come out with a good Marvel movie until they get writers that understand and love the comics. Was it you that said that?
Yeah, and until they get writers that, dude, there's a big thing online right now of interviews of writers who've written these superhero movies, and they were asked, so did you read the source material? And all of them are like, no, we weren't given source material to read. We were told not to read the source material. We were told to avoid the comics and write our own version and yada, yada, yada. So there's no wonder why these comic book movies are starting to be so far off.
Yeah, and Madam Web, I walked in that movie thinking I understood the character, and it made me second guess everything I thought I knew.
So are we going to get into talking about Madam Web now?
We might as well, since we started getting to the Spider-Man talk. We don't have anything else to say about Fantastic Four?
Not really. There's not much to say. Well,
one picture.
Before we could do that, let's talk about X-Men 97. Did you see the trailer for X-Men 97?
I did. It made me want to go rewatch the old ones.
What did they do to Rogue's booty? She went from having a lot of junk in the trunk to it's a long ass day.
Really?
Yeah. They
I
killed
don't think I
Rogue's
know.
booty.
Not typically searching out cartoon characters' booty, so I did
Well,
not
I
notice
mean,
that.
you can't miss that Rogue booty, son. Luscious Rogue booty. I don't. It was cool after all these years, though. Like hearing those voices again, it's like, meh. It's really just like one of more of those. Like, it's scary. It's almost like one more of those like sacred things from
Oh
my
yeah,
childhood
look
for
at
them to
that.
fuck up. That's my biggest fear. Is like I said, it's one more of those things from our childhood that they can fuck up.
The creators reduced how prominent Rogue's plot was in the animated series. And their plot, it means butt.
Yeah, their thang, her thangy thang.
Not a fan of Storm's mohawk.
No.
Why did they change her up so much? And I get that they're trying to keep the animation style the same, but it looked a little too fan art to me. Does that make sense? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. There's like, I'm looking at this image of Cyclops with the scene where he says, "These are my X-Men," or he says something to that effect. And there's
It almost
something
gives me like
about it.
It almost gives me like what if art style vibes.
But what if like there's a hyper realism to what if? There's no realism to this. I mean, look at Cyclops' hair. There's just a few lines in it. Like, it's very cartoony. What if reminds me of
I think too
a
that
little.
it's that it's a lot brighter and cleaner.
Yeah, it would have been nice if they added some like film grain over it or something. But look at Cyclops' suit here. This is what I remember. Like, it was so much shadowing, right?
Yeah.
And if you go back to the image, where is it?
Look at that Rogue booty in that photo right there. Good
I
night.
literally typed in Rogue's booty X-Men 97.
No, I'm talking about the one down.
Oh,
on
yes.
the third row down. Yeah, that one. Good God. She's smuggling
Here's-
yoga balls.
Here's that image of the difference
Yeah.
here. But a lot more blue in his suit than I remember. There was a lot more black before. I don't know. It could have added some film grain or something to make it look. I mean, they invoke the 97 in the title, right? X-Men 97.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to go the full Monty like what Zack Snyder did, where he shrunk the screen down to a 4:3 aspect ratio or whatever it was, and utilized only 20% of my television, and make it black and white. But you could have added something to make it look, to not make the transition from the last season of the original series to this season look so jarring.
Yeah.
Because the trailer looks like a fan did it. I'm not a huge fan of the artwork. The only way I can get back to that image. Oh, let's just type in X-Men 97 and see what comes up.
Well, and it's interesting they went from the death of Charles Xavier to then at the end of the trailer they have Magneto. Like Scott says to me, my X-Men, and then you cut to Magneto standing in Xavier's office, and he's like, "This is the last will and testament of Charles Xavier." He's like, "Everything that was his is now mine." So I'm excited for it. I'm gonna wait and hold judgment till I watch it.
Yeah, I am too. I don't know. There was just something like that style is just so iconic, and I'm trying to find a old image here.
And like,
but look at this. This looks like something. I don't know. It looks less realistic than the original series.
my recollection of X-Men the animated series is like in its purest form, and I don't want to mess that up by going and rewatching it and being like, God, this sucks now, you know?
Oh no, I watched it a couple when this was first announced. I started watching it, and it's good, dude. As far as animated shows for children are concerned, I still think it holds up, but I don't know. I'm looking at this image here and just I don't know what it is, man. It looked. Is this the old one?
Yeah.
I don't know. There was just something about it that just it looked.
Previously on X-Men.
I don't know. I can't place it, but something's off. I think it's just too clean.
Maybe it's just me, but when you hear Wolverine's voice, always hear it later, you're like, God, it just doesn't fit him anymore.
Well, I think that guy's like in his late 60s now, isn't he?
We've had so many like iterations of Wolverine since the animated series came out that like it just doesn't even sound. It just doesn't even fit anymore. But like I said,
I don't know. I hope it's good, but I'm not holding my breath.
Oh, I think it'll be great.
Hopefully. I hope so. It's probably only going to be like 10 episodes, though.
Yeah, I think so.
Hate that. I fucking hate that more than anything about Disney. The 10-episode bullshit.
Hey, at least it's not like Echo in like 5 episodes.
Yeah, but Echo was actually better than I anticipated. And we talked about it briefly, I think, on this show.
Yeah.
I don't know. All right, Madam Web. Let's get back to Adam Webb. So
Adam Webb, huh?
Adam Webb. Yep. Madam Web.
Give us your synopsis-ish of Madam Web real quick.
So I don't know. That story's so convoluted. I'm going to try my best to do this. So it starts out with Dakota Johnson, who plays which Madam Web version is she?
Cassandra Webb.
Cassie, right? They call her Cassie.
Webb. Yeah.
She is a paramedic. She is actually it starts off with a history of her mother being in the rainforest somewhere in Peru, I think, and she's researching spiders, whatever, and she finds there's I guess these spider people that live in the jungle that have the powers of spiders, a la Spider-Man. And she's on a hunt to find one of these spiders. She finds one in her partner, who's basically financing the whole trip, I guess.
Her bodyguard.
Is it her bodyguard?
Yes.
Shoots her and steals the spider.
Ezekiel Sims.
Shoots her and steals the spider because he's been looking for it forever. But later it kind of alludes to the fact that he was the one that sent her there. So that's why I was confused, because I remember saying something about bodyguard.
Yeah, he says, I'm offering my protection to you.
Yeah, and then later when Cassie's reading the book, it alludes to the fact of he's the one that got her mother to go there, because she was like the world expert on spiders. And I mean,
he might have been because he was looking for that spider.
So he steals a spider, shoots Cassie's mom in the process. Cassie's mom is then found by the spider people. I'm not good at synopsises. You know this.
All right.
The spider people find Cassie's mother, take her to what looks to be like what's the pool in Batman where
Lazarus Pit.
Yeah, it reminds me of the Lazarus Pit. And they pull Cassie into this pool, and they pull the mother into this pool. She gets bit by a spider, but it does not save her. But those powers are then transferred to the baby. The baby's born, and then we wake up 20 years later and see you don't learn that till Cassie.
Later on in the movie, though.
It's kind of alluded when the spider bites the mother.
You don't even see the spider bite the mom until later in the movie.
No, you don't. You see it in the beginning. Bites her in the chest.
No, you see him.
Bro,
later in the movie. I'm telling you.
My wife nudged me in the beginning of the movie. Is that the spider that bit Peter Parker? She asked me.
I don't
Yes,
remember
bro.
seeing it in the beginning of the movie. I know it happens later on.
No, you see it in the beginning. Whatever. It doesn't matter. Ultimately, this spider bites the mother of Cassie, and Cassie starts to have visions of the future when you meet her 20 years later, and she doesn't know what the hell's. Well, first she's saving something, gets thrown into a river, and that exasperates.
She's
the
an EMT
future.
along with Ben Parker. Yes, Ben Parker, a la Peter Parker's uncle. And they roll up on a scene of a car accident where the cars hang over the bridge. The guy can't get out. Cassie and Ben help the guy out, but she gets trapped in the car as it falls into the water, and she basically essentially drowns. And as she's drowning, she has visions of the Great Web. And then as she's brought back to life, after that, she starts having these psychic visions of things that are going to happen before
and they're
they
more
happen.
than psychic. She's like living them.
Yes. Well, but these visions of premonitions
of the future.
That was what's going to happen moments before it happens.
And she doesn't know how to control it, right? She doesn't figure out how to control it until the big climax of the movie. But then we go over to Ezekiel Sims, right? Why don't you say what happens with Ezekiel Sims when we first meet him?
We come back to Ezekiel Sims, who has is having reoccurring nightmares of 3 spider women killing him. And as we go on, he meets an NSA agent at a play, takes her home, they fuck. He poisons her with his venom from his spider power. He can transfer venom. He poisons her to get this technology, essentially the same technology in the Dark Knight, where they can use every camera, cell phone, ATM.
You can go even older than that. Eagle Eye.
Yeah, to track people's movements and find anybody, because he has premonitions and knows what they look like, but he does not know who they are.
And we should mention that is the only time you see the 3 girls in their spider suits. Pretty much.
No, you see him yes, all you do is see him in flashback. You see him a couple times in the spider suit, but
for a Spider-Man, for a Sony Spider-Verse universe, whatever the fuck they're calling it, movie, you see very little people in spider suits. Would you say?
Yeah.
And to the untrained eye or the untrained viewer, you may think that Ezekiel Sims is actually Spider-Man because his suit is it's Spider-Man's suit.
Kind of, almost.
I mean, the eyes are very similar. It's black with red.
It's got piping. A lot of nodes to Spider-Man, yes.
Which Spider-Man does not exist yet.
Right, he's not even born.
So, where the fuck did he get that design? Because the spider people in Peru don't have those costumes.
They kind of do. Like, I think because if you look at them, they've got like the black, like, I want to call them vines all over them, where it kind of looks like they're being taken over by Venom symbiote a little bit.
Mm-hmm. They look like jungle people to me.
Yeah, it could just be a version of that. Or a version of drawings that he's seen. But that sets us in a motion to where Ezekiel Sims is now on a mission to hunt down the 3 women that he sees in his premonitions. Julia Carpenter, played by Sydney Sweeney. Then you have the other, I can't think of the other. Then you have Maddie Franklin. And I can't remember the third one's name.
Dora the Explorer. Isabella Merced.
Yeah, but I can't think of the character she plays.
Out of those
Corazon. Who are different versions of Spider-Woman in the comics.
Who was your favorite of the 3?
It's none of them. None of them.
Okay,
dude.
I shouldn't say favorite. Who did the most redeemable job of the 3?
None of them.
You think so?
Dude, we're going to get into this, and I'm going to this movie. Okay, before we get into it, anyways, that sets Ezekiel Sims off on his mission to try to kill all of them as Madam Web, or Cassie, tries to save them all. She ventures back to Peru to learn her roots and what her mother was doing there. Finds out that she had some kind of incurable disease and that there was a bunch of research with spiders. And with that dude giving the spider bite to the mom, it transferred the venom to the baby with healing properties. So she no longer has this debilitating disease, and she's never born with it. She comes back to America, and she helps the 3 Spider Women fight off Ezekiel Sims, and she becomes Madam Web. She takes a shot to the eyes, burns her eyes, becomes blind, and at the end,
Oh, is that what happened? Because my
Yeah.
wife and I were like, how the fuck did she become blind?
when all the stuff is falling from the sign into the river, she gets hit across the face with some of it and knocked out before she's saved. And
I
that's how she
started
was
to
blind.
I think I started to not pay attention around that part.
And my favorite part of the movie is the last 5 minutes when you get to see Madam Web in her suit, like the one that's on screen here. You get to see her in her suit with the 3 Spider-Man women all dressed up in their costumes, and she kind of alludes to Peter Parker. Now, that was just a brief, really bad synopsis, but you get the drift.
You keep asking me to do them, and I'm not good.
No, you're fine. Way back when this first trailer came out, there was a lot of rumors that, oh, well, this was going to be, the baby you see born in the trailer is Peter Parker, and that's his mother giving birth, and their job is to try and they're hopping through time and having these premonitions to try and stop Ezekiel Sims from killing Peter Parker, to save him, to make sure he becomes Spider-Man because he's destined to be the spider totem and all that. That is not what this movie is. Not even close.
It's less inspired than that.
I'm going to let Lance give his review and opinions on this movie first. And then I'm going to go, because from previous conversations, I think we differ a little bit. I'm not saying Lance said he liked this movie. He made me sure that I made sure to preface that. He's not saying he likes the movie. He's not necessarily saying he hated it either.
Well, I didn't like it. I did hate it, but there's movies that I hate more. I think Morbius is worse. But that's not saying a lot. Morbius had the benefit. I think Jared Leto did the best that he could with the material. Nobody in this movie rises to the performance that Jared Leto gave in Morbius, which is not saying a whole lot. The 3 girls didn't bug me that much. The one on the skateboard bugged me a little bit because they paint her out to be like this trust fund girl, and she's an asshole the whole movie, but it's not believable. Like she's the one I think in the trailer they show Cassie almost hitting her with the ambulance, and then she turns around and flips Cassie off.
Yeah, they show it in the movie.
No, but in the trailer, like I'm just referencing.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if people have seen it that hadn't seen the movie, but I think that's in the trailer. It's just not. I don't know. It's like they had this image of what a spoiled girl is supposed to be, and it just didn't register with me. Sydney Sweeney, I think, does the best that she can. I think the best one of the 3 is Anya. What are you doing? just your face like blew up.
Yeah, I'm bracing myself, because if you think Sydney Sweeney was anything but awful in this,
everybody was awful. Everybody was. Let me just preface it. Everybody was awful. It kind of made me shocked that Adam Scott and Emma Roberts agreed to do this movie.
I agree. And they were the best part. And I love Adam Scott, and he couldn't even save this movie. And I love Emma Roberts, and neither one of them could save this movie.
Yeah, it surprises me, because those are 2 very good actors and actresses, or whatever you want to call. And first of all, they're barely in the movie. And second, I mean, Adam Scott a bit more than the other. But they have their choice of anything really they want to do. and they choose this, it doesn't make sense to me why they chose to do it. But that's neither here nor there. Every line in this movie that's supposed to be this hard hitting moment, like emotional moment, just feels so paper thin, I guess is like
Delivered with no emotion.
yeah.
I equated to watching this movie. I said this is the Madam Web set and tell me why those the Room universe. Because
Yeah,
that's about what the acting is.
And why didn't any of these actors speak
This
up?
spider guy is trying to kill you. He is climbing on the walls.
Yeah.
What are you girls doing? We need to get out of here.
Well, and I'll never argue that Dakota Johnson is a good actress. I'll never say that. Anything I've seen her in, even one of my favorite movies, Peanut Butter Falcon, she's the weakest part of that movie. So I didn't go in with a lot of promise. I thought it was going to be absolute dog shit. There was no way it could get any lower than what my preconceived notion of this movie was. And what I'm saying is that it did better than that because I walked in with such terribly low expectations. I walked in with bigger expectations for Morbius. It's probably why I hated Morbius more. But Sony just needs to stop, man. The Sony Spider-Man universe thing, just let Marvel make the fucking movies. Let Marvel use these characters. Sign on as a co-producer. Fire fucking Amy Pascal. She is fucking awful. She doesn't know her head from her ass. She keeps making these movies. Venom sucked. Morbius sucked. Madam Web sucked. What is there another one?
Yeah. Kraven the Hunter is gonna suck.
Kraven the Hunter is gonna suck. Kraven the Hunter, I think, has the potential to be the worst. Just
I don't know.
judging from the trailer.
This is a pretty low bar in Madam Web, so if Kraven the Hunter is worse than this, whew.
I don't understand why they just don't pull the Batgirl route and just say we're canceling it.
Well,
going in a
I
vault.
don't even like. I
Take
went
your
into
loss.
expectations that this movie was going to be a turd, but I thought for sure it would be like these great actors trying to do the best they can with the turd of a script. They're trying to polish a turd, and that's not the case at all. The acting in this movie is awful. The best performances in the movie by far are from Emma Roberts and Adam Scott, but everyone else is emotionless. They deliver their lines emotionless. I don't think Sydney Sweeney's face changed at any point in the movie when she's being attacked to anything. She's very calm. Cassie, look out. Cassie, here he comes. Cassie, oh my God, save me. She's very like calm and just dumbed down about everything in this movie.
I might be blinded just because I love her so much.
Dude, she was awful in this movie. She's awful in this movie. Okay. I think people get blinded by her acting in Euphoria because she's just having a lot of sex and her tits are everywhere. But she is an awful actress.
Well, she's
got Kristen Stewart one face. Even in that movie, that rom-com she just did, like her acting is awful. And
Anna and I
went one face.
Anna and I went and saw Anyone But You, and we both liked it a lot.
She got one face, dude. That's it. That's it.
Yeah, I don't agree with that. I do when it comes to Madam Web, but I don't agree with the.
She always looks bored and disinterested.
Well, that's kind of that. I feel like that's this fucking generation, dude.
This movie.
And let's not get into that, but
like the dialogue in this, Ben Parker and Cassandra Webb are EMTs, and he's like, I met someone. Ooh, who is she? Oh, oh, it must be getting pretty serious, huh?
What the fuck is her name?
Yeah, you can't say, oh, her name is May. Her name is May Riley. Or whatever. It's not May Riley, but her name is May because Riley is Peter's mother's maiden name.
So, can you explain to me, which doesn't make sense, Ben Parker is the brother in this movie. Ben
of
Parker
Richard Parker, who's married to Mary Parker. Because Richard, you never see Richard Parker. He's in Beijing, or he's off here or somewhere else when they're doing the baby
that's
shower.
Right. That's right. Which, by the way, if Adam Scott's Ben Parker is getting really serious with this woman, wouldn't that woman be at the fucking baby shower?
Right?
Of her soon-to-be sister-in-law?
And they have all the EMTs at the baby shower. And then there's this big fire at this like fireworks factory or something. So they have to go, and they call everyone in. And she has a premonition that her captain is going to die in the ambulance. And she doesn't. You would think that if you're going to be more frantic to stop him, she gives a half-ass attempt to stop him from getting into that ambulance where he dies.
Everything you're saying, I'm agreeing with.
And no, I know, but I'm just saying, like, the last 5 minutes of this movie where you see her in the suit when she's blind and all that stuff.
Those glasses are horrendous, by the way.
I can overlook them because they're a lot more comic book accurate than other things. But
I remember her having like round goggle things. Is that not an accurate memory?
What, Madam Web having round goggle things? No, she kind of has like the bandana across her face.
I remember that, but
there's like cartoon versions of Cassie's version of Madam Web that have goggles. Yes.
This is the, when I think of Madam Web, this is the image that pops in my head. It's the most recognizable image I can think of.
Yeah, from the animated series and the comic book. Yeah. So she has the goggles in the animated series, but in the comic book she had like the bandana and stuff.
Yeah, I wish that was bigger. Yeah, this is the other image I think of when I think of Madam Web.
Like the
bandana. But I don't remember those glasses. And now I can't see a picture of it. And explain to me this picture. Why the fuck doesn't she have the things over her eyes?
There was something about that. I can't remember what it was and why they chose to go that route. But
and so these three girls, when Cassie comes into contact with them, right? The whole thing is eventually they're going to get spider powers. That's why Ezekiel Sims wants to kill them.
Right, and they don't have them yet.
And they don't have them. Nor do they get them at the end of the movie.
No, you just see the premonitions where she's looking into the future.
Don't you think the logical thing is at some point at the end of the movie they get bit by spiders?
Not all spider powers are given through like biting.
Yeah, but the only thing that's giving spider powers in this thing is the spiders. There's no.
Yeah.
But one of them get powers in some way, or
yeah, they should. However they get them, they should have had their power set.
Right. They go investigate Ezekiel Sims at his apartment, and the spider's there at the apartment. By the way, how does he get a spider to train and crawl around his fingers like that?
That might just be part of the spider people.
I don't know. A Spider-Man movie or a Spider-Verse movie, whatever you want to call this heap of shit universe that Sony's building, cannot exist without fucking Spider-Man. It can't. They've proven it time and time again. 4 times now, they've proven it. Venom was shit. Venom 2 was shit. Morbius was shit. And this was shit. None of them have Spider-Man. They all need Spider-Man.
They tease him in this. He's born. Oh, they're at the baby shower. Yeah, they're at the baby shower. Oh, let's play guess the baby's name. Oh, wait. Oh. What? Premonition. Oh, I've been here before. This is deja vu. And then you see him being born at the end, and they don't even say the fucking kid's name. They don't even say his name.
Well, to be fair, you didn't have your daughter's name for like 2 days.
Well, so what? They had the name.
I'm fucking
they allude to him having the name in the movie, where she's like, "Oh, well, we'll figure that out. That'll come out when we play the game."
No, it didn't.
It didn't. No.
Right. Just Sony fucking. I wish our show could reach the ears of the Sony's executives.
They don't
fucking stop. Stop. How many times do you have to be told by box office dollars and by critic reviews that your movies suck? At least Marvel, who's made a couple shitty movies recently, Marvel Studios I'm talking about now, at least they're getting money for them. At least they're making movies and they're still making money from the majority of them. They didn't from the Marvels, but they did from Ant-Man. They did from Thor. They're making money. There's enough reason there to continue making movies until they stop making money. Sony has not turned a profit on. They turned a profit, I think, on the first 2 Venom movies, and that's it. Morbius sucked and got horrendous reviews, and now this is going to suck and get horrendous reviews. Just doesn't fucking make sense to me. Not to mention, it's probably still not going to make any money because on it came out on the 14th, Valentine's Day, right? Mm-hmm. The same day that the Bob Marley movie came out, which Bob Marley movie is getting a ton better, more positive press than this movie is. Yeah. Why do they keep fucking making these movies? And then we have I'm starting to get upset. They have Craven coming out. Which Craven is it coming out this year?
I think so. I think it comes out at the end of the year.
And mind you, these movies are coming out. I mean, Madam Web just came out and Craven's coming out at the end of the year. They have zero competition in the comic book space. The only Marvel movie coming out this year is Deadpool. There's no DC movies coming out. Maybe Batman. Is Batman coming out this year?
No.
Okay. There's no DC movies coming out. Oh, Joker is.
Yes.
But Joker's rated R, so it's not a PG-13 movie. So it's kind of in a different space, I guess you could say. But they have zero competition, and still nobody's going to go see these fucking movies. And don't blame it on the audiences. It's not because interest in comic book movies has waned. Okay? Because if that's the case, Batman last year wouldn't have made the fucking $1 billion that it made. So the interest is still there. You are just delivering a subpar and this goes to Marvel Studios too. You're delivering a subpar product, and we're fucking tired of it.
Well, I think it's funny how Dakota Johnson's come out since this movie. This movie has been getting awful reviews, and she's like, "Oh, well, I thought I was going to be in a Marvel Studios MCU project, and this the generational gap between me and my co-stars was horrendous, and they made me want to drill a hole in my head, and like it just all the stuff to throw everybody else under the bus when she can't admit that her performance was awful.
Well, and here's the thing too. You start talking about your co-stars in that way, okay? I don't care who they are. More than likely, other actors and actresses are not going to want to work with you. If that's going to be, you made a shitty movie.
Katherine Heigl.
Yeah, nobody wants to work with Katherine Heigl. I mean, she fucking took Grey's Anatomy, which was this huge hit, and told them to basically go fuck themselves. So, but no one's going to want to work with you. Okay? Take ownership when you make a shitty movie. Jared Leto did. Jared Leto said, I probably could have done better with Joker. Right?
No, he blamed the studio too and said, "Oh, I filmed a lot more stuff that got left on the cutting room floor to show that I was a much better Joker than."
Well, that is a what's the word I'm looking for? That comment has weight to it, right?
Your shitty performance.
No, I agree. Like, I don't think his performance was shitty. I think the costume and the backstory and the writing was pretty bad for Suicide Squad. But if you say, hey, I went in and I filmed 90% more scenes than what was shown to you in the movie, that give you a better understanding of who this Joker is and why he is the way, you did the work. He did the work, and they opted not to use it. That's outside of his control. Blaming your shitty performance on your co-stars, okay, who are in the same position as you are, trying to save a sinking ship. Okay? I don't give a fuck how old they are. Sydney Sweeney is more of a recognized name than Dakota Johnson and has an Emmy-winning TV show to which she is a prominent character in. She just had Anyone But You, a rom-com that did very well in the theaters. Okay? Sydney Sweeney is becoming a household name, and you're blaming your shit movie on Sydney Sweeney? Not to mention Isabella Merced has had, what, 3 or 4 successful movies come out prior to this one? In Dora the Explorer, she had Instant Family. She had there was other ones too. Didn't she have a really big movie on Netflix just recently?
She was in Transformers: The Last Night.
She was in Sicario.
Yeah, she's in Sicario. She's in Instant Family, Dora the Explorer, Sweet Girl.
Oh, and Let It Snow with Ed Helms and Jennifer. Oh no, not Let It Snow. She was
in the Father of the Bride remake.
So she's had a for how young she is, because Dora the Explorer came out in 2019, and I want to say she is only 22 years old, and she has how many movies come out?
Quite
a lot. The only claim to fame that Dakota Johnson has is that she was on fucking the 5 Nights of Grey or whatever the fuck it's called.
50 Shades of Grey. The 5 Nights of Grey.
I was thinking 5 Nights of Freddy, and I'm like, that's not right. And she was in Peanut Butter Falcon, which was a fantastic movie despite her. Would you agree with that? The Peanut Butter Falcon?
Yeah.
Despite her, she adds nothing to it. It would have been the same movie if it was just Shia LaBeouf and the other kid that was in it.
Yeah.
But I hate that. I absolutely hate when. So I've played in bands since I was 12 years old, right? And I've played with really good performers, and I've played with not so good performers, right? And if we had a bad show, never in my wildest dreams would I say we had a bad show because the drummer fucked up. We had a bad show because the engineer fucked up. We had a bad show because my guitar player fucked up. Or no, we had a bad show because we fucked up. It's when you're in the creative process, and this is just nepotism at its best, because her father is Don Johnson and Melanie Griffith, I think, are her parents. Okay. Very prominent actors. She is a Nepo baby. And when you say, oh, this movie sucked because my co-stars were younger than me, you sound like a Nepo baby. I'm sorry. That comment pisses the fuck out of me, dude. And I don't care how much internet hate we get because I fucking mouthed off at Dakota Johnson. But she's the weakest part of this movie.
I don't know. I think they're all pretty bad. I think Sydney Sweeney's pretty bad too.
Yeah,
this is definitely not a good showing for Sydney Sweeney.
I think they're all bad, but I think you can still scale the badness. Who was worse than who? Dakota Johnson's the worst. Then it comes down to the trust fund kid. I forget what her character's name was.
Maddie Franklin.
Yeah. Then Sydney Sweeney, and then Isabella Merced, I think, is how it ranks. Well, and then Adam Scott and Emma Roberts, which Emma Roberts is in 10 minutes of this whole movie, I think.
The chick who plays Maddie Sweeney, she's in a lot of movies too. She's in A Good Person that came out last year. She was in Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Oh, is that her?
Empire. Yeah, that's her.
Well, Ghostbusters Afterlife, she's not in a lot of it. And I remember us reviewing Ghostbusters Afterlife, and we said her and Finn Wolfhard were the weakest parts of that movie.
Well, she's in Frozen Empire also.
And that's not a admonishment on her or her acting ability, right? It's just you can tell that when they were filming this movie, I can see the behind the scenes in my head, right? You're filming this movie and you're not having fun. What do we see when they film an Avengers movie and they're showing behind the scenes, or they're filming Spider-Man movies and they're showing behind the scenes, right? We see these people laughing and having fun with each other and enjoying the creative process with each other. That's the best part of making. That's why actors make movies, right? Is because of the creative process involved. You see these actors having fun, and when they have fun filming the movie, it shows on screen. That's why I think Anyone But You was a good movie, because those two, at the end of the movie, it shows you behind the scenes and they're actually having fun filming that movie. And I think it shows. This movie, nobody had fun. And you can tell.
Yeah, like I said, it's bad. All the performances are bad. Some of them are worse than others, but they're all still just all around bad. I would rather watch Thor: Love and Thunder than this movie.
Oh, I would too.
Just they should have kept the references to Peter Parker in there to even just have Ben Parker be like, I met someone. Oh, who is she? Does she have a name?
Yeah.
No.
Well, it needs connective tissue to the source material. And
then they
zero
apparently
tissue.
got the device that the last season of Game of Thrones used, where you can be on the other side of the world and in the blink of an eye, you're back in the country, because she's in Peru. And then the next scene, she's coming back after Peter Parker's being born, or, after Mary Parker goes into labor. She's back. Apparently Richard Parker couldn't get that teleporter so he could be home for the birth of his child. But, she got it to where she can be back. And then that whole scene at the end where she finally, gets her powers, and she's splitting herself off into different places to save the girls.
Yeah, the fuck was that?
And then the bad guy doesn't get defeated by any of the Spider Women. He gets beat by a Pepsi sign. A Pepsi sign.
Yep.
Not even a Coke sign. A Pepsi sign. And this movie was very heavy with Pepsi product placement. Code Red Mountain Dew. The actual can of Pepsi she's given. Held up, just like, reminds me of fucking Wayne's World, where they're doing the product placement, where he's like, it's a taste of a new generation. He's got the Pepsi can, like, clear as day Pepsi placement, product placement.
Oh yeah, the Wayne's World, they did that as a joke, though. I think
I know.
Pizza Hut placement in there, and
yeah, I know. But, and then he gets beat by a Pepsi sign, the same Pepsi sign which takes her vision, which apparently paralyzes her.
Which interestingly enough is how I feel when I drink a Pepsi.
That is going to take your vision.
Yes,
says the guy who's drinking a Pepsi product.
Oh, Mountain Dew. No, I mean Pepsi in general. Pepsi, not the Pepsi company, because Mountain Dew, Baja Blast, right here, buddy. This stuff is liquid gold. But no, Pepsi tastes like shit. Yeah, the only right answer when you're at a restaurant, when you ask for a Coke and they say, is Pepsi okay, is no.
I don't mind Pepsi. I think a Pepsi can be refreshing at times.
No, it tastes like fucking
it's just to me. The product placement and the fact that this big bad guy's only motivation is to stop them from killing her, or from killing him.
Which, don't you think? So at the end of the movie, she meets the spider people in Peru, right? And he says, well, he stole the spider, so his life is cursed.
Right.
Okay. Don't you think he would know that? And wouldn't it just be easier to return the spider than try to kill 3 teenage girls?
Right.
Why do you still need the spider? You have the powers. Why do you still need the spider? Give the spider back, and then all is forgiven. And then this movie doesn't need to be made, and Sony can go fuck themselves.
Yeah, dude, like I said, there's just there's so many like stupid one-liners in this where,
oh, are you guys immediate family? Yes, these 3 are mine. Fuck you, Dakota Johnson.
When she has the vision of the where she's getting the popcorn in the microwave and the glass breaks and the pigeon hits the window. And then she opens the windows. Oh, I guess it didn't die this time.
No, she says, this isn't going to work. And she like drops her shoulders down.
Yeah.
It like,
but then she opens the window and the pigeon flies in and she's like, guess he didn't die this time.
oh, did she say that?
Yes. I was like, oh, thanks. That's like, hi, Mark. Oh, hi, Mark. Fucking Tommy Wiseau's The Room presents Madam Web. Is what this movie gives you. As far as
it makes me think like, does she have the script and that's one of the things in parentheses that she's supposed to be thinking but not saying, and she took that as a speaking line. Like, Sydney walks through door. Sydney grabs a plate. Sydney opens a refrigerator. Sydney gets a burrito from the freezer. Sydney puts the burrito in the microwave. And
dude, even when Sydney Sweeney is screaming, she's trying to abduct us. There's no emotion. This woman's trying to abduct us. This woman's trying to abduct us. Where's the emotion?
Yep.
There, dude, it just, oh my God, it's not good.
It's not good.
Not good. I saw a reviewer of this say, I would rather watch a dog take a shit and then sit there and watch that dog shit dry till it becomes white dog shit than ever have to watch Madam Web again.
And you know what's a shame? You know what's absolute shame about this is that most people that do these podcasts like you and I are doing are men. And I have not seen anybody say anything good about this movie yet. And because we're men, we're going to be told that we didn't like this movie because it was a movie about women.
Nah, but that won't fly because one of the biggest,
but that's what Brie Larson does.
Reviewers on YouTube is a woman. I'm trying to think of her. I'm trying to find her account to think of her name.
But you know that argument's going to come up. Oh, the movie failed because
she does Beyond the Trailer. I can't think of her name, but she is one of the biggest YouTube reviewers, movie reviewers. I'm trying to think of her. I can't think of her name right now.
Well, the fact of the matter is that
she does the
prominent women.
You can look her up. She does the it's called Beyond the Trailer. Grace Randolph is her name. She shit on this movie.
Good. We need support from some of these women, because when we all came out and said Captain Marvel was shit, okay, every man said Captain Marvel is shit except for this guy over here. Initial reaction, Matt over here.
What?
You said Captain Marvel was good and changed your opinion like 3 days later.
Yeah. I did.
But
I'll own
we all said Captain Marvel was shit. We all said the Marvels was shit. And it was because we don't like movies that feature strong female lead characters, which is fucking bullshit, because Wonder Woman was awesome. Not Wonder Woman 1984, but Wonder Woman was awesome. Okay. And I'm just tired of the excuses that if a man doesn't like a movie that a woman is in, Barbie being a prime example, if a man doesn't like a movie that a woman is, any man that came out and said that they didn't like the Barbie movie, it was instantly hated a woman hate or labeled a woman hater, which couldn't be further from the truth. It just didn't resonate with some people.
Yeah.
You're instantly a woman hater if you don't like these movies, which no, that couldn't be further from the case, because we are so in love with these characters from the pages that we've read of them in the books. Okay. One of my favorite characters from Marvel Comics is She-Hulk. That show sucked. And it devastated me that show sucked. Okay. And I love the Fantastic Four, and Sue Storm is fucking awesome. And if it sucks, it's going to devastate me. If they just stuck with the source material and they got writers in there that actually gave a shit about the source material and actually cared, and actors and actresses that actually care about the source material, right? Tom Holland being a prime example. Okay. Tom Holland himself, before he was even cast as Spider-Man, labeled him the world's biggest Spider-Man fan. Has pictures of him at 4 years old dressed in Spider-Man costumes for Halloween. He loved Spider-Man and then gets cast as Spider-Man. And you can tell he enjoys it because there's a love for the character. Dakota Johnson didn't even know what company she was fucking working for.
Yeah.
It pisses me off, dude. It pisses me off that they see these characters that we grew up loving as nothing more than moneymakers, and that we'll go see whatever bullshit piece of shit movie they create. We'll go see it. Did it work for the Marvels?
Nope.
No. Is it going to work for this movie? No. Did it work for Morbius? No. In fact, Sony got trolled so bad from Morbius that they re-released it and nobody saw it the second time.
Right.
Make good movies and people will go. It pisses me off, dude. It pisses me off that these are the people that are in charge. And the Zaslav from Warner Brothers and whoever the fuck's running Sony and all these people can go fuck themselves. Chapek, who was in charge of Disney, can go fuck themselves because they think that we are fucking chumps. That's what that when you come out with a shitty movie based on a beloved character and you didn't put the passion in it that's supposed to be there, the same passion that we have for these characters, you are telling me that you think I'm a chump. And I'm going to like it just because it's big and flashy and has bright lights. Fuck you. Fuck you and your mother.
Jesus. Leave the mothers out of it, sir. Leave the mothers out of this. But yeah, it's...
I may be harsh, but that comment that you said Dakota Johnson blaming it on her younger co-stars. You're the lead actress in
when
this
she
movie.
went on her press tour for this movie, she just seemed disinterested. She was pretty much like, oh yeah, I don't even know if this movie's any good. Like, it just, I don't know, dude. I don't know. It's like, it was pretty much like Sony was like, fuck, we spent money to make this goddamn movie. We need to recoup something here, so we're putting it out. Fuck it, we're going.
But just go the Warner Brothers route.
Yeah.
Cancel the movie and take the insurance money.
Well, Warner Brothers kind of had the buyout, so they could write a lot of it off, but no such.
Well, what happened? What happened to the whole thing about Apple or Amazon trying to buy Sony? Because I think that needs to happen.
And actors strike.
That needs to happen, dude. Someone needs to come in and just buy Sony. Let Marvel have Spider-Man back.
But Sony does a lot of good. Warner Brothers does a lot of good. Like, Warner Brothers is the company that produces Ted Lasso. They shoot Ted Lasso, so they're good. Sony,
yeah, but that was made before.
But
that was made before Discovery.
It's not. I don't want to blame Sony the studio. I blame the writers. I blame the writers.
I blame Amy Pascal.
I blame the people that are in charge of that, of hiring the writers, for not knowing the source material, not knowing anything about these characters, not taking the time to flesh these characters out, just throwing you in this universe. It's very obvious this movie had been edited, re-edited, and re-edited again, because it's just a jumbled hodgepodge of nonsense.
Yep.
And it sucks. Like,
yep.
They are trying to build, like you've said till you're blue in the face, they're trying to build this universe without a Spider-Man, and it's just not working. It's like trying to put up a tent and you're missing your main tent pole. You can't do it.
Which is a shame, because they came out with those Spider-Verse cartoons.
They're phenomenal.
That's some of the best Spider-Man stuff I have ever seen.
Dude, Sony came out with an amazing story for the Spider-Man 2 game, and the Spider-Man 1 and the Miles Morales game. Get them on there to write this shit. Get that video game, the people who write the video game script on this, because they clearly know what they're doing.
Well, because that came from people that like the source material. But
Yeah, well.
but there's something, we can't ignore the fact that everything we just mentioned that was good has Spider-Man in it.
Right.
And the 4 movies that we believe to be bad have no mention of Spider-Man. Madam Web being the closest mention of Spider-Man that we've ever had.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Sony doesn't even understand their own movies, which is evidence, which is made clear by the ending of Morbius with Matthew Keaton coming in. Michael, what did I say? Michael Keaton. Michael Keaton coming in. Everybody's scratching their heads like, what the fuck is this? What? Like, this makes absolutely no sense. They don't even understand their own fucking movies.
Well, I think they know to a point that Spider-Man needs to be in it, to the fact where they reference him, where, they reference him in Venom 2 when he's on the TV, and they reference him in Morbius when he's on the murderer poster, and they reference him in this movie by his uncle and mother being in this movie and him being born in this movie. So they know he needs to be there, but he's there without being there. He's kind of like an afterthought character in this.
Yeah,
he's
remember how excited we were with Morbius when we saw the trailer and they showed that picture in there?
Yeah.
We're like, oh, Spider-Man's actually going to be in this somewhat.
Mm-hmm.
It was just a fucking poster.
I don't know. I could sit here and beat this movie till we're blue in the face, and I don't want to do that. Final thoughts. What's your score on Madam Web?
What'd I give Morbius? I think I gave Morbius an F, so I'll give this one a D-.
This gets an F+ for me.
Yeah, we're close.
I'd rather watch Morbius in this fucking movie.
I think maybe I should sit down and watch Morbius again, because everybody's been saying that this is worse. But I've been thinking that might be recency bias, because Morbius came out, last year?
No, Morbius came out
2 years ago.
I want to say 2022.
Was it 2 years ago? So
Morbius came out the year Logan was born, so it was 2022.
So it was a couple of years ago, and I'm wondering if maybe people don't remember how bad Morbius is, or maybe it's me that doesn't remember how bad Morbius was, but I don't remember being this angry.
Yeah, Morbius was more bad because of creative direction they went with it. Like, it wasn't so bad what Jared Leto did. It was a lot of the CGI and the creative and the writing and direction of it. This movie just all around is bad. It's just all around bad.
I feel like Jared Leto actually gave a shit about what he was doing in that movie.
Yeah,
I remember that much.
The fact that once Dakota Johnson learned that her agent, I think she even fired her agent. I think when she found out this wasn't an MCU movie, she fired her agent.
Really?
I believe so. And so I just think that she went into this movie, once she found out that this was a Sony product, she went into this movie not giving two fucks.
Okay, here's a report. Madam Web star reportedly furious with new movie, drops talent agency in protest.
Yeah.
This is January 30th. Things aren't looking too good for Sony's next foray into the Marvel Universe, as a new report suggests that its lead actress, Dakota Johnson, is unhappy with audiences' reaction to the film, with some speculating that she went as far as to jump ship to a new talent agency as a result. Well, newsflash, Dakota Johnson, you have no talent. So it's no secret that Sony's Spider-Man Universe SSU doesn't exactly have the best track record of delivering box office hits, with Venom and especially Jared Leto's Morbius generally falling flat with audiences. But here's the problem. Venom actually made money, and Venom 2.
Yeah.
They made
Not
money.
a lot, but
so they're going to keep making these movies unless we speak with our wallets.
Well, Venom 3 is coming, so we'll see how good that is.
So still Sony's corner of the Marvel Universe has proven to be successful time and time again, with the Tom Holland Spider-Man No Way Home, acting as a connective tissue between the days of Spider-Man past and present. Now, Sony is seemingly doubling down on its efforts to expand the SSU via Madam Web, which arrives in theaters next month. Let me see. Ahead of its release, however, the web-slinging team-up flick appears to have come under fire from its lead actress. Variety, some of the actress's recent actions have raised industry eyebrows after she abruptly dropped her management WME in favor of CAA just days after the first trailer for Madam Web dropped, suggesting that she wasn't too happy with the less than positive reception of the film. And this is from InsideTheMagic.net. That's interesting. I didn't know that she fired her talent agency. But I tell you what, her new talent agency needs to tell her she needs to quit talking shit about her co-stars.
Yeah, well, them's the breaks. But all right, well, I think that'll do it for this week's episode. Let us know in the comment section below if you saw Madam Web and what you thought about it. And if we were spot on, if we were off base, let us know your opinion in the comment section below. It's
and I'm gonna acknowledge that I may have been a little too harsh with some of my criticism, so I apologize.
Well, it is what it is. It wasn't a great movie, and I've had about 5 messages since we've been doing this from people that went and saw it that were like, "Holy shit, this movie was hot garbage. I think Morbius was better." I'd rather watch a recording of a relative's colonoscopy than ever watch this trash again.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's not great. You look on YouTube, every review is like, this movie's terrible. This movie's awful. Don't go watch this movie. And yeah, it's not great. I would say if you're interested in it, wait till it comes on VOD. Wait till it comes, on streaming. It'll be there soon. It'll probably be there in the next 3 weeks. Because I can tell you, when I went today, there was 10 people in my theater. And
did you hear this? Did you hear this comment that she used to describe the movie?
No.
Like if AI generated your boyfriend's perfect movie, is what she called it.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, this was on Saturday Night Live. She took a jab at the movie during her latest hosting gig at Saturday Night Live, describing it as like if AI generated your boyfriend's perfect movie.
Right. Okay.
Whatever.
If you say so.
Sony just needs to give it back to Marvel.
At this point, I would have to agree.
But, and don't release Kraven.
Yeah. They will, though.
Unfortunately.
But again, let us know in the comment section below if you saw Morbius, if you liked it, didn't like it, if you thought we were off base, or if you thought we were spot on. We appreciate all your comments and consideration. And for this week's episode of the Absolute Geek Podcast, I'm Matt.
And I am in a very angry Lance tonight.
Then we'll see you guys next time.
All you freaks and geeks,
come all you freaks and geeks, let's listen to Absolute Geek.
Absolute Geek.
We'll go ahead and spread our cheeks,
Spread the cheese.
and drink
And
some
we're for
Cosby wine.
We'll
Come
drink
on,
some Cosby
Absolute.
wine. It makes me feel real fine. See you next time on the Absolute Geek.